So this is the vlog. We're gonna be doing things with models and trying to import them in. This is one of Indy's older models for Zero Friday, and I'm just looking at it and just awing and going, "Oh wow!" So yeah, that's how I wanted to start this. I'm not gonna hit the pause button. So at this point, ironically, we just can't. I can't find the file. It's like we haven't worked on this in a while, and I'm saying that because I want people
Yeah.
to know it's okay if you have a massive drive and you lose your files. I mean, it's terrible, but we have backups. But the thing that happened from the last time we were working on this was that the files, there was a road that was made in Blender, and it just didn't look right because of the way that we were optimizing the mesh. So if you haven't seen the other videos on this, I don't know how to link it to. The idea is that we had to simplify the mesh because it was just one of the things that we could optimize that that Alex was having a hard time loading when he was doing testing for the multiplayer game. So one of the things that we figured is like, okay, can we optimize things down? Would that help? And yeah, the answer is yes. Optimizing the 3D assets does help with loading, and it does become a pain when you're doing different things you need to load, and it's not like we have a flash drive on there. So optimizing has been helping with testing, and that's why we're here doing what we're doing. Indy, how was the road made? Can you tell me how the road was made? Like, was it
The
a
original road.
particle system? Yeah, how was the original road made?
I used a oh boy. Um, I used a path, and so I made an original piece of a road, and then I used the path to make it connect, and that's how I did it.
Okay, cool. And then again, we have been having issues with getting materials in, but luckily the Godot Facebook community has been nice. So I want to do another video on that related to how to get the glass, the windows, and the textures in. And then the other thing too is that we're gonna try to do the file thing, where we actually change the name of it, and we're gonna see what happens with this. So there's like a time cut or a jump. Forgive me. I'm gonna try to edit this a little bit so that it's so it's more visible, so you can just kind of see the entire process and kind of get a snippet of our development process. I hope you're learning stuff from this. There's that pause button. It's just the pause button.
So you can go
Yeah,
in
that looks great.
cave.
That looks great. I'm glad you sculpted the road.
And I'll just cut back this a little bit.
I think it'll be easier, to be honest,
Yeah,
to design
it
for it
is.
like this.
That's what I should have done.
That's really cool.
There you go. Imagine that with
Now
some trees.
we haven't mapped this yet. So since we haven't really mapped it, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
We like once we get a map on there, we could add like an extra texture to it. I think. I don't think it's gonna take like, or that's the other thing is that we could do it by simple color. We could select it and then just change the color of it at least. You know what I mean? Without having to necessarily add an extra texture. Then ideally, I don't know. I'll have to figure this out. Ideally, we could add like a special map just for the road if we want to put it in. But I'm overcomplicating it. I think we'll just work on this as a low poly level, try to make it look at the best we can, and then like in Godot, and then we'll go from there. I think that might be the best bet.
Yeah. Let's jump in, shall we? View. Navigation and walk. Look at that. Walking through the level, man.
That's pretty cool.
Look at that. Fix some stuff here.
Wow. Still overall, that's nice. We get the shadowing and stuff in Godot. That's gonna look really good.
Whoop! Fell through.
Oh
Shit. Oops, I mean, sorry. Darn it.
well,
Oh,
it's
fell
not that
through.
bad anymore.
Darn it. Let's just go up. Whee! All right.
Are you trying just to
History
pop
play.
it up? Is that what you're trying to do?
No, I was trying to smooth it up. Draw. Positive. Okay. There we go. Ta-da! All right. We're not having cars in here, so we're not really worried about how smooth that is there, but it will fix.
Well, for now, we're not worried about vehicles. You know what I mean? But I mean,
Yeah.
once we sort it out, the thing is we just need the we need to test our
Fix
multiplayer.
this.
I
This was
think a big
bothering me.
issue that we're having with multiplayer is the latency. That's the only thing.
Yeah, that seems to be a big thing in every multiplayer, really.
Yeah, I mean well, so if I understand the technology right, the thing is that, well, I mean, I guess I should backtrack. This idea of loading like assets like
Mm-hmm.
in real time, having multi-layered assets loading over time, I think is going to help with latency. I mean, that's just my understanding of it as far as the assets being loaded into a scene. It's funny is that when I've looked at it into like how flash memory works and stuff like that, things can load faster, but it doesn't increase frame rate. So that's not the issue necessarily there. It's just going to load things on your system like a certain amount of time. But yeah, man, the thing talking with Alex about latency, there's a thing where you have to delay the player in a way that the other people that see it, when it pings, can actually fairly shoot it. So like latency is always there, but it's like I can't remember what it's called. I literally cannot remember the term. But you have to program it in a way that it all seems like it's playing at the same time. Does that kind of make sense? I don't know if that makes any sense at all. And so yeah, just cleaning up the levels is like one step to that. But he's gotta start working on the code again for just the gameplay versus all the authentication stuff. So
yeah, I mean, like I texted today, I said, if we could get the map playable, then everything else will start to come into play, and it'll make more sense. Because if we don't have a playable map, then obviously we're wasting our time on things that we shouldn't at this time. We should get a map playable, then throw the assets in, and then we should be running pretty good then. But
well, we can start doing more latency testing and stuff like that. But I don't know. That's the only thing is like, so I don't know where. I mean, it's so funny because I'm not the best programmer. We should have Alex here at some point when he's not busy with other things, as you make levels.
Well,
and just talks about multiplayer. That's what we should do. But yeah, so the thing is that the working on the authentication systems, I didn't know that would be a big. I didn't.
He's got a lot of hats that he wears. He's got a lot of hats.
Unfortunately, because I thought about bringing in another programmer, but I'm like, no, I don't think it's that thing where if we brought in another programmer, it doesn't mean it goes faster.
Yeah.
It just means there's someone else there. So that's what I've learned. Until we actually had like a real need or like a real deadline to like shoot for, there isn't really a need to bring another programmer. And besides, if we brought in another programmer to work on stuff, then it's like you know, it could take up more of Alex's time because now he has someone else he has to work with. It has to explain everything, and that would take initial time, you know. And then here's the bottom line for it. No money for another programmer. Like that's why I'm hoping that if we apply for the Epic grant, that might be something that we could talk about for that 25K. But we'll see how this all plans out, because I have to figure out how I don't know.
See, what you gotta
I do know this though.
is, oh shoot.
I know this though is that I want to do more stuff with the level assets. We have many level assets thanks to you, and we can start making more videos and stuff like that with it. So that's the thing. Like, we could actually start making content about like how to get this stuff in and make it look good in Godot. So that's the plan. I think that's the plan. I've got to get going to work. I'm gonna put that pause on here.